My name is Peggy Phillips, and I am the owner of Dial M Productions. So I was always someone who was performing as a kid, and my goal with whatever I was doing was to make it into a production. And when I was younger, I didn't know that's what a producer was. But as I grew up and went to college, I found out that my love for entertainment grew into producing events. And so it's my life's passion, is to put on parties and produce events. Oh, there's a couple of things. First of all, I love the performers. So I have a genuine love for what the entertainers do. So I enjoy working with them, whether it's someone who's a band, or it could be an actor, it could also be a Cirque du Soleil type performer. I love the performers. And then there's a whole beauty of creating an event. It's a one-time thing. You're going to it's like making a beautiful dinner. You're going to put all these pieces together and you're going to have it one time. And it's just the excitement of, can you make this the most amazing, product you have? And then, of course, you have the client. The client is always the person who has a bit of a vision of what they want, although some are very detailed, but most of them have a vision of what they want. And it's a big occasion. The majority of our clients are corporate people, but it's a big plan. So when we bring them together, we want to make them as happy as they can, and it's great to see someone really pleased. They're relaxed, they know you're going to take care of everything. So I have 3 levels that I work with, which is talent, which is the product, and then of course the client. They're very different. Okay, when you're working with like say a corporate client, a lot of times you have somebody who's been given the job of, plan this, and they really don't have a background in entertainment or event production. So they're coming to me and they're hoping they've chosen the right person, because really, their job's at stake. Their boss is going to come and say, what did you do? Who did you find? And it's got to be great. It could be a trade show that we're putting together, it could be a holiday party, or a lot of times what we're doing is we're bringing clients together. They have their vendors coming in. They want to look good to their group of community, so they have to have an event that's going to make everyone really pleased to be there and excited about it. So they're hoping they come and find the right person, and that's my job. Well, every talent has a little different personality, and I guess I could have gone a little bit more with the first question is, if you're working with a group of lawyers, or if you're working with somebody who's planning, a wedding reception, they all have different temperaments. They have different expectations. Well, that's the same way with talent. The energy and the needs of an actor will be different than those of a musician. They all come from different backgrounds. They all want to have different things taken care of. So when I step onto the pictures, I already know what they want. I know what an actor's going to need. I know how much time they're going to want to have before an event. I know what their temperaments are. And lookalikes are different than musicians. They're different than the Cirque performers. So it helps if I come in and I already know what I'm working with, which I do. Actually, when I go and I talk to students their career day, I tell them, first I'll say, how many of you here want to be actors? They raise their hands. How many of you want to be dancers? They raise their hands. And then I'll say, how many of you like to read? How many actors like to read? And the hands go down. How many of you dancers like to do math? The hands go down. So, well, the one thing you're going to end up doing if you're successful in this business is the business aspect. So you have to have your math, you have to have your reading. If you're an actor, you're going to be reading, you're writing, and suddenly everything changes. It's not about just your talent. Talent is wonderful, but you have to have business behind it. So I encourage them to, yes, stay in school, get your business degrees, learn all your academics, because that's what you're going to end up doing, 90% of the time, and then you get to go to the show. Well, the majority of the talent that I have, they're very seasoned performers, so they're pretty well versed in what they do well. The difference is that it's not their show, and that's really important to me. It's an event that I'm creating for the client. So you can't have an actor who wants to do their show, it's my stage, it's my thing. When we're putting on parties, which is what we do, there's a goal behind why they're having this party. And it takes a different type of a performer to realize that, if they want the music turned down, the music's turned down. If they don't want to hear that type of a song, they're not going to get that type of a song. With actors, you know, there's a lot of politically correct things we need to do nowadays. Yes, do them. This is their party. They get to do it the way they want it. We are there to entertain them. So that's pretty much all I have to do is shift sometimes where their focus is. The show needs to be cut short because the CEO ran long and was talking. It's cut short. Came to LA, and that was my goal, was to work with some of the best talent. And I started with producing shows that I was interested in. And my favorite thing is interactive. It's great to sit and watch a show, but I'd been in so many musicals and shows where you sit in the audience and you watch, that I was a little tired of it. I was also very tired of the idea as a performer that when you get up on the stage, it's the exact same thing every day, every performance. And the only thing that happens is an accident, which you cover up and laugh about backstage. So I wanted to switch all that. So what I did is, my goal was to have the audience be part of all of our shows, to break the fourth wall, make it interactive, and to make it so that the show would not be the same every night. And that when something funny happened, it was brought to everybody's attention. So when you have a group of people and you're performing and the audience gets to participate, they get to talk back, we get to go in and meet them, you know, that's what, in my mind, keeps it fresh. So even our first show was The Murder Mystery. It's been running now 26 years. It's still running. So it's a long-running show. It's changed quite a bit, but it's still just as fun, and you know, people still love that. Yeah, well, some of my favorite things were really how I started producing more and more shows. It was that people came to me for that, so that was exciting. Is that we started with Steve Wynn, and the Mirage was the first client of ours who said, "I want you to produce new shows for the Mirage." And so we did. We did an interactive wedding. We did all kinds of shows, and that spun through Vegas. So Vegas was a big part of our life in the 80s, early 90s, and I was putting on new events every time with their budget, which was delightful. You know, here's the money, write it, make it happen, you know. So I really enjoyed that, and I enjoyed the time that we spent a lot in Vegas. So that was fun. Some of the highlights too have been the tours. I mean, we've taken this show and several of our shows all around the world. We tour for the military. So when we fly in and we're performing for the troops, it's not only giving back, but it's just the excitement of seeing, you know, people really happy. For just a moment, we're breaking their lives, to just suspended for a moment. They're all happy. So we love performing for the troops, and we've done about 7 tours now, which I had never thought I'd be doing something like that.